Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. And I know it might be too soon to make a video for some people as they still want to be as far away from talking about Rangers Football Club as humanly possible after what they witnessed at the weekend. I understand that, ladies and gentlemen, but I know there is some people out there that want a distraction for the constant cycle of frustration, disappointment that this team can actually bring you. And that's why we're here, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time this summer, troops, in what I imagine will be a very busy summer, especially ins and outs. If you want me to make that individual video, by the way, on the players I think will be leaving and those that will be here this season, it's very lopsided. Let me know in the comments, I'll go ahead and make that. But again, for the first time this summer, we're here to look at a Rangers rumour, and it might just be a Rangers rumour we badly need. Now, I know this Rangers rumour isn't exactly breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, as some people have already discussed it already, but you know me, I like to actually really dive into it. I didn't like trying to rush out and do this, alright, because it doesn't matter about being first to me, I just try to be right, or as right as I can be. So I really wanted to see as much as I possibly could about this laddie before making a video, and as I mentioned last week, why I wasn't making it at that day is because obviously the Old Firm was coming up. I didn't want it to get lost in the old shuffle. So there'll be no match preview for Dundee, because what's the point? We're going to be hearing the same crap as we always do in every single press conference. The players this, the players care, whatever. I show it on the park. Everyone from anyone, apart from the ones that can actually do something. And we're here for a Rangers rumour, and before we really get to the nooks and crannies on whether or not we believe this rumour to be true, let's take a step back, ladies and gentlemen, and have a look if it should be. Jose Cordoba is a 22-year-old Panamanian left-sided centre-half that can also do a job at left back. He stands just shy of 6'2", round about the 6'1.5", depending on how big his actual studs are. But the word's big centre-half. It's got a lot of people talking, is this going to be our aerial threat? Is this going to be our monster in the air? And I think it's very important to tell people right away what he is and what he isn't, ladies and gentlemen. He isn't ticking that box. If you're clicking on today's video, want to know about the centre-half, thinking, is this going to be your demon in the air from set pieces defensively, and what we badly need, an offensive threat from set pieces, that isn't what he is at all. You're just going to have to accept that. But what you can appreciate in terms of this laddie is what his attributes actually are, and that is being a defender, ladies and gentlemen. He's big, he's powerful, he throws his weight around, he's really good in the 1v1 defending. You know the thing we face 90% of the time in the SPFL, with a long ball to the big brute, long ball to the big brute. Well, that is his strengths. It's all that body strength. It's pushing people out the way. And again, he is quite a presence back there, as he is very committed. Some people might argue he's too committed because he picks up a lot of yellow cards, and we'll break that down later on in his stats. But honestly, after watching the paper thin defending I've had to witness year upon year at Rangers, watching strikers, for no matter where they are in the league, bottom of the league, second bottom, run our centre-halves about daft, bouncing off them, shoving them there, bullying our centre-backs. The fact that we're actually looking at someone who is a physical threat that can get stuck in, for me, is a major plus. But again, you're probably sitting here thinking to yourself, right, you're talking about physical assets, you're talking about strong, powerful, being able to play centre-half and a full-back. Is this another Dujon Sterling? Is this another Calvin Bassey, for instance? Is that another type of the player we're bringing in? And I think the natural comparisons are with those two, because again, they do share a lot of physical attributes, and they stand out massively in a Rangers team. I mean, just at the weekend there, Sterling going into the centre-back position, how much he stood out because he could actually win a 50-50 and that he could win a shoulder tackle. Our other centre-halves must be sitting going, what on earth is he doing? We're just here to pass the ball. That's no him at all, ladies and gentlemen, and I do feel like that is important to mention as well. Where he does share similarities with Bassey, with the likes of Dujon Sterling, where he isn't is the ball at his feet, and that's where I think where people's talking about left backs and everything like that, he's not going to be a left back for Rangers. I just didn't see it. Probably fill in because of injuries, because it's us after all, but he's not coming here to be a left back for Rangers, because what we require of our left backs is bombing forward, putting the balls in the mixer, crossing, and that is quite clearly this lad's worst attributes to his game, because he's no great with a football. I know everyone's excited about a new signing, everyone's wanting this, and it's always best to be overly positive and that. He's not great with the ball at his feet. He's not going to drop a ball on a sixpence. He's not going to drive forward and slide someone through. He's not going to hit a worldie or a cross. But do you know what it will do, ladies and gentlemen, is he'll actually defend. And for me, sitting here looking at a defender after all the years of what I've had to look at, to see a defender's best attribute is defending, is something, again, I can get behind. But where we did talk about his ball at his feet not being exactly up to standard, it is a reminder he is just 22 years old. Now, he's a vastly experienced centre-half at being just 22 years old, but there's always areas to grow and develop in that. But again, he's more of a defender rather than this ball-playing nonsense that we've had year upon year, and that's a boost to me. And when you look at Sterling and you look at the success Bassey's had, we always need those types of players, and seeing how much Sterling stood out this year, adding another player as physical and powerful as that can only be a betterment in this football club, especially in the league that we play. I know it's not sexy or anything like that, and everybody wants a guy that can do this and this. It doesn't matter. We play in Scottish football. We didn't play in Europe every week. It's about time we actually start adding some demons and physical presence in the squad, and aye, it's certainly doing that. But moving away from this player profile, I want to get to the numbers and stats, because that will really help paint the picture of what we're bringing in to this football club, and again, back up the experience claims and maybe back up some of the claims I've talked about in terms of the old noggin. So follow me as we go down this generational stat chasing style of the old video. Now, again, we did mention he is 22 years old. He's had 10 caps for Panama, and at my current time of recording, he has played 32 times this season. Now, in those 32 games, he does have 1 assist to his name, which is actually a bit of a surprise when you look at his overall game, but he does have the 1 assist, he does have the 9 yellow cards, and he has his 1 straight red card, which is actually, to be fair to the laddie, he does throw himself about, he does get stuck in, he really leaves markers down, but that is actually his first straight red card of his career. When he comes up the road and plays as physical as he does wearing a blue Ranger shirt, you'll probably see that number increase. But aye, someone that likes to throw himself about and get stuck in and won't be bullied, and that's shown up already in his stats. But remember earlier on where we talked about he's not an aerial threat. It's important to distinct what he actually is and what he isn't. I think the reason I can back that up is the fact he hasn't scored this season. In fact, he hasn't scored the season before, or the season before, or the season before. All 4 years that he's played in the Bulgarian league, he's never scored in his playing matches. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here looking you in the eyes. We are signing a centre-half that's never scored a goal in his career. And again, that'll annoy some people. I think it annoyed a lot of people when we signed the likes of Ben Davies, because people want threat from these set pieces. They want to see some guys in the air, and this really isn't that at all. But again, we've looked at guys with great resumes and great this and great that. They come here and be an absolute duffer. Maybe he'll start banging him in with his all head. But aye, he's not an aerial threat. He's never scored once in his entire career. But where the negatives might turn people off, I like taking a step back and looking at the entire picture. And at the age of just 22 years old, he has played 117 games in those young legs. Again, it's in the Bulgarian league. People can say what they want about it, but it's top flight football over there. He's been involved in some relegation battles, if I'm honest with you. He's been involved in some pushes up the table. He's certainly an experienced young laddie that saw the ups and downs of football already, but what he is available. And he can play, and the way he plays and the way he throws himself into things and the way he bullies people up there, the fact that he is so available is definitely a plus, because again, the best ability is availability, and the lad's shown that already. Is you'll be hard to find more experienced laddies playing as many games as he has at his age. But I know everybody loves the stats, so in those 117 games he has 4 assists to his name, 29 yellow cards. He's been sent off once to a double yellow card, and again once, as we mentioned earlier on in the video, via a straight red card. You're getting a bully, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting a demon back there, and by God, do we finally need a bit of buzz in that back line. And that's it in terms of the old numbers and stats. That's it in terms of the player profile. All that's really left for us today now is obviously talk about competition for places, and then talk about the Rumour itself. And again, the competition for places is almost laughable for me to suggest, not only because where we are or have been all season, but where we were at the weekend. The fact that we were playing Sterling, who started the game as a right winger for this football club, ended up going into the back line playing 50 minutes as a centre-half, and arguably, no, not arguably actually, looked the best a centre-half has looked all season long in that back line. We are badly needing some bite. We are badly needing some defenders, so he jumps right to the front of the queue. The fact that he is a natural left footer on as a left-sided centre-half probably tells you exactly where you need to go in terms of next season and what's being planned. You're talking about Ben Davies, he'll probably be moved on. Suter, who's been playing left centre back, he's just not good enough consistently to be that. We're identifying this lad, and that's where he'll go. Where again, he does have the cover for left back, but I think he's more Katic with the ball with his feet than anything else, if you catch my actual drift with that. He's not going to be trusted, I think, to be a creative source doing that left side. But again, as a left centre back, you can't ask for much more when you talk about physicality and a bit of presence back there. So he jumps right to the queue. And again, if you want me to sit here and make a video on who I think is going to be here, that queue in terms of the centre back spot is going to be very, very short, as I expect pretty much all of them to be moved on, barring John Suter. But that's where it goes for competition for places. All that's really left to do now is look at the Rumour itself and give my opinion on it. Now, the Rumour was heavily broke last week and everything like Rangers in advance hanging it. He started following everybody, and all the internet sleuths are all starting to look at it. He is following the right people on social media. I do think there is real smoke behind this fire. Now, it can all fall apart. It can go crumbling down. We've seen that with Hefty in the old January transfer window. We'll wait to see what happens with that when the window reactivates. But again, this is looking good, ladies and gentlemen, and it wouldn't surprise me if he is one of the many summer signings, and he's the right attitude, he's the right way he goes about his business. I just hope somebody's explained to him what the climate's like, because I can't go through another Jose Cifuentes heartbreak, ladies and gentlemen. A player of that talent coming here, looking at the rain and saying, nah, I didn't fancy it. Somebody tell him that it's dreadful weather-wise up here, and I really hope he hits the ground running, as he could be a very important 1-2 punch. He doesn't fix all the defensive issues. We're going to need a hell of a lot, but fret and bite back there, aye. Now let's get somebody that can win a header in the air. Call that a partnership, and hopefully stop shipping so many weak, limp goals in the back line. But that's my thoughts and opinions on the laddie. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comments section below. Do you like the look of him? Do you think he's exactly what we need, or do you think it's going to be another swing and a miss? It'd be interesting to see where you sit with this. And as always, I've been Sage992. If there is any genuine news out there, we'll go down, we'll break it down, we'll get to the nooks and crannies and look at it. But until then, I will see you tomorrow after the game. All the best, and bye.